What are the required forms for applying for a marriage green card in the United States? Hello, everyone. My name is Attorney Ebony, and I am an immigration attorney located in New Jersey. However, I represent clients in all 50 states and around the world with immigration law matters. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you and welcome. I ask that you please hit that subscribe button so that you can always stay in the know when we post a new video. In this video, I will be focusing on the immigration process known as adjustment of status, which is when a person applies for their green card from within the United States. I will particularly be focusing on those foreign spouses who are applying for a marriage-based green card through a United States citizen spouse. The first form that is required when applying for a marriage-based green card will be initiated by the U.S. citizen spouse. That form is called the I-130 Petition for Alien Relative. When submitting this form to USCIS, the U.S. citizen spouse will complete and answer all applicable sections and attach supporting evidence to the application. Some examples of the supporting evidence that is required include biographical identifying information such as proof of birth, proof of citizenship, and proof that your marriage is bona fide, which means that it's real, authentic, and genuine. This part of the application process is an opportunity for you to share with USCIS some background information about your relationship. When providing supporting evidence, you want to try your best to provide a winning love story. You can find a copy of the form I-130 and all other immigration forms for the marriage green card process on the USCIS website. In addition to completing Form I-130, the foreign spouse will be required to submit a supplemental form called the I-130A. The purpose of this form is to give USCIS information in order to check your background. The form is not optional and must be completed by the foreign spouse and submitted with the application. When submitting your application, be sure that you are sending the application fee along with all required supporting documents. Most immigration applications do require a filing fee, so be sure that you are checking the USCIS website to ensure that you are sending the correct fee to avoid your application being rejected for insufficient payment. A rejected application may lead to delays in processing your application and therefore can delay in you receiving your immigration benefits. The U.S. citizen sponsoring spouse must be able to prove that he or she can financially support their foreign national spouse, and they are required to provide evidence of their financial status. The required form is called the Affidavit of Support, and the U.S. citizen spouse will have to provide evidence of his or her current employment, assets, and proof of filed taxes. If the U.S. citizen does not meet the required eligibility, he or she would be able to have a joint sponsor complete an affidavit of support to supplement. The U.S. citizen spouse and the joint sponsor's responsibility is to ensure that the foreign national spouse who is seeking the green card does not become a public charge. A public charge is an individual who is likely to become primarily dependent on the government for subsistence. The next form that is required for the marriage-based green card process is the actual green card application, commonly known as the I-485 adjustment of status. Again, before you apply to adjust your status here in the United States, be sure that you are eligible to do so. Provide evidence that you have entered the United States legally by including a copy of your passport, visa, and I-94 form. If you do not have a copy of your I-94, you may be able to download a copy from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. The cost of the I-485 form at the time of the recording of this video is $1,225, including a biometric service fee of $85. To stay updated on the fees for this form and all immigration forms, you should regularly check the USCIS website. When applying for adjustment of status, you may also apply for a work permit and a travel document. There is no additional fee for these forms if you are submitting them with your I-485 application or if you have a pending I-485 application that is being processed. The application to register permanent residence or adjustment of status will collect information about your identity and your admissibility. When answering questions on your immigration applications, be sure to answer them accurately and honestly. If there are any inconsistencies in your application, or if you fail to provide true and accurate information, you run the risk of having your application denied. A medical exam for adjustment of status, Form I-693, is also required, but it can be submitted at the time of the interview. Many applicants choose to wait until their green card interview has been scheduled before having the medical exam done. You will need to have a medical exam conducted by a USCIS approved doctor. A list of approved physicians can be found on the USCIS website. The application for employment authorization. This application allows foreign spouses to apply for a work permit so that he or she can legally work in the United States. If approved, the foreign spouse will be granted a work permit and will be able to use this document to apply for a Social Security and a driver's license. Getting a work permit is so important for many people because it allows them to be able to earn a living and support themselves and their families. If you need to travel while you're waiting for your green card application to be processed, you can apply for advanced parole. Keep in mind that while you have not been officially granted a green card, you should be cautious about leaving the country and understand that while the travel document grants you permission to return to the United States after a trip outside of the country, there is no guarantee, and you should consider the risk of leaving the country if you do not have to. Most people, however, do not have any trouble returning from outside of the country on advanced parole. But there is always the possibility that one could run into issues or face additional scrutiny attempting to re-enter. So where do you file? When submitting your immigration application, be sure to check the USCIS website for the appropriate filing address. Remember that filing addresses are subject to change, and you should always check the USCIS website for the current filing addresses. A few weeks after your case has been received, you will receive receipt notices from USCIS acknowledging that they have received and are processing your application. If your application is rejected, it could be that you did not submit the correct fees for the application, or you may have submitted forms that are outdated and expired. When applying for your green card, remember to check the dates of the application. Most immigration forms come with expiration dates and are no longer valid when the date on the application has passed. I hope that you found this video to be helpful. I will be posting more videos regarding the marriage-based adjustment of status process. And if you have any questions regarding applying for the green card based on marriage, or if you would like to set up a call to talk with us about your particular case, feel free to give my office a call and we will love to talk to you more about the process and your immigration options. Our office number is 201-565-0099, or you can click the link in the description and book an appointment directly online. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and take care.